Before I start, a quick prayer to the people of Japan due to that miserable typhoon. I'm wishing it wasn't a thing for basically both reasons, so at least please use that pause button for a moment of silence. At least that typhoon mess is self-explanatory enough that I can focus upon the overdue rant to idiocy in its own right, as long as this isn't in bad taste. So on October 4th, Judge John Chupp made his rulings on the mediation attempt he ordered. What a surprise, he dismissed all remaining claims against the defendants. And what's this? He did dismissal with prejudice! So this one person who had shown incredible bias against Big Mignonia gets to make sure that calling out false accusations gets to permanently sell on the false accusers? Excuse me! People did not rage, especially on YouTube, calling out unproven and increasingly very likely false accusations they supported for 9 months straight, just so this one person can deem clear-cut evidence invalid and then claim the victim of the false accusation. Should have thought to provide evidence, and an F is ruling they deemed absolute. What Judge John Chupp did is the definition of tyranny! Sorry, this goes well beyond any sort of laziness, because Judge John Chupp would have seen that the active solicitation of anybody getting castrated, which is what Jamie Marchi did, is damning behavior in its own right. Never mind that Jamie Marchi tried to evade court summons no fewer than 5 times. Yet even Jamie Marchi specifically clear of all charges on the September 6th hearing. It can't have been in the interest of popularity or being bought up by Funimation. He wouldn't have deleted his Facebook if he cared that much about PR or funding. Especially when Tickwick would just defend him and people don't care that they're outright venomous any more than they do with names from the Fire Emblem community. The only explanation I can buy is that Judge Chupp took certain favors from Jamie Marchi. He's definitely corrupting us for as much, and so is Marchi. Of course, apparently Chupp's garbage ruling can be overruled in appeals anyway. I'm not holding my breath at this point. There could still be kangaroo court stupidity with the 3 judges that could provide the ruling, and any jury could arbitrarily be fully made of Tickwick members as well. Oh, but wait, I should try to have faith in the legal system anyway. You mean the legal system of Texas, the same state that thinks the perfectly reasonable response to mass shooting is to legalize murder? No. Just no. The pragmatic point of a legal system is that a society that fails to punish murder is one where anybody can be murdered themselves. If Texas decides to indulge in absolutely backwards thinking with that, what makes you think they'll give accusations proper scrutiny? See, this is where the Me Too movement proves it will do anything to win for the dystopia. They're not going to care about details like that. If they did, they'd have proven as much long ago. Light Lucario, the anime superhero forum, certainly would have, rather than delete my linked post tearing at chauvinism added in a dub. Funimation's dub, by the way. But now, let's accept Funimation's hypocritical attempt to demonize Knights, even when said attempt damages the surrounding moral that enemies are people too. Why? Just for talking about Big Mignonia in a non-biased light? Light Lucario, if this bothers you enough that you would fume about my response on Discord, then here's an idea. You should be considering better communication, not this moderator arrogance! What do I expect from Toonzone anyway, when PicardMan thinks that the ResetEra and some site called Pretty Ugly Little Liars are credible for being, and I quote, not overrun by big defenders? The second one just screams garbage from the naming, but I'm not here to complain about some site that I don't even know, even if it begs to judge a book by its cover. Now, I can point out how ResetEra, a gaming forum, thinks to ban people just for wanting to talk about games instead of politics. I'll grant that politics would inevitably be brought up and we should just ignore them, but trampling over the notion that we should be talking about games on, you know, a gaming forum is just cold apathy at its worst. It's It's abundantly clear that games like Ultima, Quest of the Avatar are in vain because people are still pushed into one extreme or the other, making it impossible for more balanced ideals to get through. There is at least hope, ironically indicated by the ResetEra mess, as it inevitably shows that these extremes in their lives will collapse under their own weight, only concerned with creating an outright boring utopia that will get questioned by more curious people. Of course, fighting back is the only way to have a chance to make sure that happens in time to matter, because otherwise society will get too soaked in hate for any epiphanies from members of either side to have a chance of being a good idea to follow.